Hello, hello. Alex Carmela here, video marketing strategist, going live with all of you to talk to you about something absolutely awesome. If you are someone right now who is creating videos and one of your biggest struggles is getting your audience to stay until the end of the video, to stay engaged throughout the entire video, to make sure that they are getting value throughout the whole video, this is going to be the video for you. If you're here watching with me live, drop me a hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, drop me a hashtag replay. And this is, just so you all know, this is part 3 of the 4-part series on the 4 big shifts to creating transformational videos. If you haven't watched the other 2 videos in this series, you can go back either in the Facebook group. I'm also streaming this to YouTube, so you can look on my YouTube for this as well. But it's some really amazing, the first 2 are really, really amazing. Awesome. All right, so let's jump into today's content. Like I said, this is going to be great for those of you who want to keep your audience engaged the whole time. So the thing that engaging videos do every single time, right, is they do 2 things. They show and they tell. And I am not talking about the show and tell that you did as a kid in kindergarten where you bought your pet or you brought your stuffed animal or whatever it is you did. Let me know if you brought something crazy to show and tell. But 2 techniques that you want to be using in every single video. And when you strike this balance in your videos between showing and telling, that's when you're going to make sure your audience feels empowered to take action, but they also feel like they're getting to know you on a deeper and more vulnerable level as well. So I'm going to talk about what it means to show and to tell and to strike this balance. And I'm going to give some examples of what this looks like as well. Awesome. So comment yes. Let me know you're here watching. I see people are here and watching. And let's jump in. So what does it mean to tell? Right? So telling is when you get on your video and you literally give a step-by-step instruction, which is sort of like a tutorial, or maybe it's a system. It's something that you are giving away, right? And it's more authoritative. So it could be that you do a video that's like the 3 steps to building muscle, or it could be the 3 steps to goal setting, or it could be how to create an amazing landing page, right? It's something where you're giving people a system, a framework, a formula, and they just have to trust that you know what you are talking about, right? So it's you being authoritative and showing up as an authority, which is great. And the reason why telling is great when you give that step by step is because it empowers your audience to be like, all right, I could follow these simple steps. I could do this exact thing that this person is recommending in this video, right? So it's supposed to be able to give your audience those actionable things. Let me know if you're watching this video. You could just comment yes if you're doing any type of telling videos, any type of step-by-step tutorial or instructional type of videos, right? So that is the first piece. And I'll give an example. I have got a webinar all about the 3 C's to building a profitable online presence with video. And I go through my 3 C's. I go through community, conversion, and connection. And I break down exactly what you need to do in each step and what you accomplish by the end of each C, each phase. Right? So that's an example of telling. Let's talk about the other piece, the showing piece, right? Because we need to strike this balance between telling and showing. Showing is on the other end of the spectrum. This is where you are not just giving instructional things, but you are using storytelling and anecdotes and examples of your clients and customers and of you in a way that's inspiring to your audience, right? And it gives them that window, that insight into how you've become the leader and the person you are. And why you believe the things that you do and why you coach the way you do, why you instruct the way you do. So it gives them that window into how you think and who you are and who your customers are on a deeper level. And so the telling piece is more authoritative, right? You're just giving people steps. The showing piece is more vulnerable, where you can open up and you can share struggles and mistakes and hardships and ups and downs. And those are super, super important. So think about testimonials, stories of you and your clients, things that are going to really strike home. And what's really important to remember is that stories are sticky. And so what that means is that you could tell, you could share a signature system with someone and maybe they forget the pieces, but if you share an impactful story, there are going to be details that are just embedded in their mind long term. I'll give an example. There are podcasts that I've listened to. I love How I Built This. NPR is How I Built This with Guy Raz. There's one podcast episode with Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, right? She's the youngest self-made female billionaire. She was. And she tells the story about how she, went door to door before she ever got into Spanx and created her company. She would sell fax machines door to door. And I just remember her describing selling fax machines door to door. And I remember her saying, I feel like I'm in a movie and I need to go to the director and tell him I'm in the wrong movie because why am I selling fax machines door to door? I meant for so much more. And so I don't remember every detail of what they talked about, but I remember that story, that like those stories they talked about stuck with me, and they will, I think, forever kind of stick with me. Let me know if you like that podcast as well. But that's the difference, right? There's this telling, right? We've talked about, just to kind of put this on perspective, right? Telling is when we give people that step-by-step. Showing is when we get a little bit more vulnerable and we story tell and we explain the why behind things. And it's so important to find this balance between the two, right? So if you're trying to keep your viewers engaged the entire time, you want to make sure they stay until the end, right? You want to almost put yourself in their shoes. So let's say they're watching your video and you're doing a lot of telling, right? You're giving the steps, you're giving the tutorial. There might be this moment where they're like, okay, but how do you know this is true? Or why do you believe this to be true? And why not this other thing? And are you really qualified to do this thing? So if you're only telling and you don't give the vulnerable side of things, you're gonna likely lose them. On the other side of things, if you do only showing, meaning you only story tell and you only kind of give case studies and you don't do any telling, meaning giving systems or tutorials or anything like that, you might have this moment where people kind of feel lost and they're not sure exactly what they're going to take action on or the way you're going to be teaching or coaching or instructing them. So it's important to find this balance. And so when you have that balance of telling, instructing, making them feel safe and secure that there's a system and steps that they can follow, but you also show and inspire them with stories and case studies that are sticky, you're going to have this beautiful concoction of showing and telling that's going to keep your audience's attention, make them feel safe through the video, make them feel seen and heard. And that's how you're going to make sure people are sticking around until the end. So if this is resonating with you, if this is hitting home, making sense, comment yes. Let me know that this is super, super clear for all of you. And I hope that this has inspired you to do a really nice balance between telling and showing in your videos as well. So again, I hope this has been awesome for you. And I hope you've loved this 4-part series so far. Again, this is only part 3. We still have part 4 tomorrow to wrap this up. And this whole thing, again, was inspired by my road trip from Boston to Austin, Texas. And we officially wrapped up the road trip today. So I'm actually in my new house right now. There's no furniture at all right now, as you can see. But that's all good. So I'm wrapping up, and it was great to be able to spend my extra time giving some value to all of you and helping all of you create better, more transformational videos. So I really do hope you got a lot of value and benefited from this little mini series. And we will still have part 4 tomorrow as well. Awesome. All right. And last thing I'll say too is the doors are still open to the Video Skills Lab, which is my membership. It's $9 a month. And essentially you get live coaching, Zoom calls, live streams that we do, a library of training and mentorship to build your profitable video marketing strategy. So if you're someone who wants me to personally help you with that, the link is in the description of this video, either above if you're on Facebook, below if you're on YouTube. I will look forward to seeing you in there. Look forward to seeing you all for part number 4 of this video very, very soon as well. If you watch with me live, drop me a hashtag live. If you watch the replay, drop me a hashtag replay, and I will see you all very soon.